Hello and welcome to the video. Today's an interesting day because this marks the release of this new product here from both Walksnail guys and also Caddx FPV. Now this is a review unit. I was shipped this to try out probably about 4 weeks ago now, and I've been playing with it ever since. And you can tell it's still in one piece, so it's survived the abuse that I've been giving it, because I have been flying it quite a lot because it's actually a lot of good fun. This represents the first bind and fly quad from both the Walksnail and the Caddx FPV brands. Probably spotting here, it actually has Caddx FPV written all over it. But inside it has a Moonlight Walksnail camera, so that's the 4K camera with all of the goodness. So you've got the ND filters, has a really kind of cool anti-vibration mount at the front, and it'll give you up to 5 minutes of flight time if you're being a little bit gentle with the throttle. So I thought I'd do a quick review on this. Those that watch the channel a lot will know that I'm a big Walksnail pilot. I fly Walksnail a lot. These are my own Walksnail Goggle X's. Still have the original ones that I fly with. And in fact, actually, I'm about to upgrade these. I'm about to put the upgraded heatsink in the top. This is one of the very first versions. The latest versions come with that upgraded heatsink, although I haven't had any issues with overheating. I'd also replace the patch antennas on the front, these Menace RC ones, with that kind of all-in-one unit that they're now shipping, just to make it easier to get in and out the case, really. So let me go through what this thing actually is, and also what it isn't, what I found with it, and talk about my thoughts about what this could mean for those of you that may be looking to get into a HD system this spring, or for those like me who've already invested in the Walksnail system and have bought quite a few bits. Now, the headlines for this is that this has absolutely been designed around the Walksnail Moonlight camera, so that's going to support 4K shooting and transmission of 1080p back down to your goggles. I've looked at the Moonlight camera before. It's kind of positioned to be a direct alternative if you like things like the modern DJI L3 Air unit. The overall quad itself is quite compact and lightweight. It's only about 115 grams, and I can easily get this under 250 grams, if that's important to you, with a 650 4S battery. Motors on this are 1303 6000 kV motors with tri-bladed props, and the flight controller at the top is an all-in-one flight controller, has integrated Express LRS, although that appears to be connected via a UART as opposed to SPI. Personally, I quite like that, but I'll show you the Betaflight setup in a minute. Dump and diff below. F405 processor and a 20 amp ESC setup on there as well. The rest of the space is taken up for the nice chunky Moonlight unit that goes into the back into two linear antennas, which are interesting on this. I was expecting them to still have some kind of mini circular polarized, which is what you'd get when you buy one in the packet. All of the pieces appear to be injection molded, have a little bit of flex. Again, all of the flying that I've been doing here, it's been managing beautifully. Very comfortable flying this around in relatively close proximity to myself, because those shrouded props do mean that if you do accidentally bump into something, that you're not immediately going to destroy both the quad and whatever you hit. And because of the design, you can get to the Moonlight camera at the front on that vibration isolating mount and replace things like your ND filters. So it's kind of designed, I guess, for those who want a smaller compact quad that is also capable of recording in 4K and flying in enclosed spaces. So let's plug it into Betaflight and see what we can see. Now, this is my first bind and fly with all the Caddx logos on it, so I'm interested to see how they've actually set it up out of the box. Some of the bind and fly quads I've had in here have had some very odd setups. Now, plugging it in is via the port at the side, and everything is moving fantastically well. That's a really good sign. Let's go over. Oh, hang on, there's something in the data flash. This means it's been armed from the factory. This is a really good sign. I love it when vendors do that. Some of the UARTs seem to be missing, 4 and 5, but the basics are here. So it's not a SPI receiver, and UART 1 is being used for the telemetry to the avatar unit. So basic stuff here. That all looks pretty good. Configuration tab. 8K gyro, 4K PID loop. The CPU is running pretty hard at about 50%, but nothing in here looks out of sorts. It all looks pretty standard stuff. Power and battery look like this. We'll see how well that works in the flying. Failsafe is set to drop. Presets we don't need. PID tuning, this is the PID tune. I'm going to put a dump and diff down below. You can have a look at it. Rate profile, interestingly, no expo added. I might add a little bit of expo just to calm it down. It's kind of a Cine quad, this thing, so I'm probably add that in, but everything else looks pretty standard. Receiver is set for CRSF over a serial UART, so this is an SPI. There's no bind button in here. To bind it, we'll have to power the flight controller 3 times, or we'll have to connect to it over Wi-Fi and put a passphrase in it. Modes. Now, this looks really good. This is how I would set it up. So I'm very pleased to see this. Channel 5, which is Express LRS, Auxiliary 1, is using as ARM, and then the next channel is for my 3 flight modes, and the next couple of things like beeper and turnover. This is great. Well done, Caddx. Next one then is the on-screen display. I would probably play a little bit in here. The layout's not bad, actually. It's perfectly usable, but I would probably clean it up and obviously change things over to Imperial if I was going to be displaying things like miles per hour and height. So let me do a dump and diff down for this, and then you can refer to it. I'll go back and probably add a little smidge of expo and rearrange that OSD, and let's go out and see how it flies. In terms of binding, there isn't a binding phrase on here by default. Powering the flight controller and integrated Express LRS receiver 3 times will put it into bind mode and allow you to bind. And apart from that, the only thing was then to press the bind button on the avatar unit to bind it to the goggles as you would normally. So in terms of flying, I have found this really nice to fly. This appears to have gone through the hands of people who actually know what they're doing. Noise is not a lot. There is a little bit of a whine from it because of the smaller props that are on this, but it isn't intrusive. You could fly this in a park without drawing lots of unnecessary attention to yourself. Even at higher throttle, it isn't a ridiculous amount of noise. And if you're being careful with the throttle to try and extend your flight time, then you know what? Once it's about 20-30 meters away, you're going to struggle to hear it. Now, it hovers at about 25% throttle, and it will cruise around there as well, and that will pull between about 6 and 7 amps. I have pulled maximum of about 13-14 amps going full throttle, but there's a ton of power on this, and with a little bit of expo that I added into the Betaflight setup, it's super smooth as well. The images you're seeing at the moment are unstabilized, unedited views of me just gently flying around over the countryside. It does feel very floaty in flight, and that means that when you do drop the throttle, it doesn't drop like a brick. It does seem to descend very gracefully, and that means that it's very easy to fly smoothly and fly around obstacles and through obstacles as well. And I guess that's big thanks to that lightweight design. Again, mine is pushing 207 grams with the battery and about 122 grams without. Flight time is advertised as 5 minutes. You can get 5 minutes out of a 650 mAh 4S battery, but only if you're being gentle with the throttle. I think more realistic is spirited flying will give you 4 minutes, and if you're flying like you stole it, you'll get significantly less. But even flying in a very spirited way with this, when I'm landing, the motors are nice and cool. Image, of course, is excellent. This is the Moonlight camera. This is 1080p footage that we're actually looking at here, but you can, of course, record 4K on the SD card in the avatar unit installed on the model, and then use gyro flow to stabilize that in post. Control is very nice, and I do like the smoothness of flying with it. Again, I'm quite happy flying it quite close to me. It's incredibly predictable and does exactly what you would expect. So I don't know who's actually put this together. It's got the Caddx FPV logo on it, and it's also got the Walksnail system in here, but it's obviously been through the hands of somebody who knows how to set a quad up and get it to fly nice. This is very lightweight, but very well put together. All the pieces are injection molded plastic. They're rigid enough to survive the damage, but they're flexible enough to flex when it does hit something and not crack or break. I hope they do sell the enclosures around the props as spares. That'll just mean that if we do break something, then you do have the option to replace it pretty quickly. Setup in Betaflight is very standard, with none of the weird stuff that I've seen on some of the other bind and fly stuff that I've had in here as well. Things like the modes and the OSD tab in particular were things that made me smile. Again, flying is very smooth with lots of power, and it's easy to fly quickly as well as fly slowly and smoothly with the fine control. And that camera isolation works very well. It does seem to absorb all of the vibration that you do get from these very quick motors running on a 4S pack. There's a couple of things I would have liked to have seen, but I think at this point they're really niggles. I would have slightly easier access to the USB port for the flight controller. That's kind of tucked away here. However, the cable that they provide, you can get to that without too much trouble. The back of the hood here that supports the camera doesn't have to come this far back, and does mean that you have to be very careful with your battery, that the battery isn't actually pushing against it, which kind of negates all of that nice vibration isolating goodness. It looks really nice, but they could have probably taken it forward about 8mm, just give a little bit more room for the battery. Circular polarized antennas I think would have been nice at the back for the Walksnail unit, just to have that option. However, with the flying that I've done here, it's been working absolutely fine. I haven't had any dropouts that you've seen. And the Express LRS antenna is mounted horizontally. I'm a fan of vertically mounted antennas on both my radios and the quads, but again, I haven't had any issues with range with this. I've been able to get a couple of 100 meters away without too much problem at all. However, it does appear, looking closely here, that the mount for the antennas at the back is a 3D printed piece. So if you wanted to change this, you could probably design and print your own. No action camera mount at the front. There is an extra 2 little bolts here around the back, so I don't know if that was for something that they were thinking of doing, but to be honest, if you're running a 4K recording with gyro flow stuff with the right ND filter, then you know what, you probably don't need an action camera. This thing is essentially a flying action camera. I don't think it's designed for those who like to fly for long amounts of time, which limits the amount of range and distance that you can get out of it. However, if you're going to fly relatively close in, within a couple of 100 meters, this is a fab way to get that footage. But to be honest, this is all kind of niggly stuff. There's nothing fundamentally wrong with this. This actually flies very well. It's exciting to see Caddx and both Walksnail going after the bind and fly market like this, and I'm interested to see what they come out with next. It's a great reassurance for people like me that have bought into the Walksnail system that these guys are absolutely serious and Walksnail isn't going away anytime soon, and it also is a big statement piece, along with the recent release of things like the Moonlight camera, that Caddx FPV and the Walksnail guys are firmly targeting the DJI people. Now again, this isn't going to do things like hover in place like a Mavic Mini or those kind of things. This is a Betaflight quad, so it does require a little bit more practice to be able to fly smoothly and cleanly. However, the way that it flies and the setup and tune mean that that's pretty easy to do. As I'm recording this before the system has been released, I'll be looking at the website like you will today. But again, the price of this is going to be around $399. $189 of that is going to be the price of the Moonlight camera. So that extra is giving you an entire quad that actually turns that Moonlight camera into a filming rig. Thank you for watching my video. Check out the playlist, and adding Pedantry60 to your search terms will help you find my content. If you haven't done so already, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps a lot. You can support the time I spend here answering questions and helping others by using the links in the video description.